Well, with us is Barry O'Leary, the Chief Executive at IDA Ireland, the Industrial Development Agency. Mr. O'Leary, a very good morning to you.
Morning.
Things are changing for Ireland. Things are getting better, and indeed, Ireland is not Greece. But how difficult is it for you to do your job today to get investment back in your country?
Well, I think as regards foreign direct investment, in actual fact, we're seeing flows of FDI that we haven't seen since about 2002. So in many ways, if you look at the things that were attractive to companies coming to Ireland in terms of, the talent pool and the tax and the track record, etc., what has happened is that we've had a great improvement in competitiveness. So we're actually seeing that, we're looking at the banks being brought under control in terms of the refinancing, recapitalisation, the budget deficit being worked on, but the export-led part of the economy, which is dominated by multinationals, we have actually seen 12 multinationals in the last 2 weeks announce investments in Ireland, and they're literally anything from Twitter to Google to Merck to Pfizer.
But the thing is, you are particularly vulnerable to these growth downgrades that I've just been talking about. And when that happens, a country which is so vulnerable, so much in the spotlight, could be really knocked off course like that.
Sure, but I think one thing that will help us, if you look at the export-led growth and where it's coming from and look at the sectors, it's dominated by the technology sector, the life sciences sector and the digital media, digital content. I think the outlook for those particular sectors is pretty good. But of course it's going to be a big challenge with world trade down.
Say I want to invest in a country and I'm looking at Ireland, and I want to be sure two things, really, among many, but two major things. The banking sector is strong, and that the construction company that I am going to use to build my great big new plant isn't going to go bust. Now, you cannot really give me those assurances because the banking system is incredibly fragile, as is the construction sector in Ireland as well. Convince me that I'm wrong.
Sure. Well, first of all, if you're a multinational, it doesn't matter about the Irish banking system because they're banking globally, so finance and access to them is not an issue. But as regards to the construction companies, if you look at it today physically, what's happening on the ground, Pfizer last week, their 200 million investment in building, Coca-Cola spending 300 million, Amgen investing, they're pretty sure because there's huge capacity within the marketplace.
It's your 12.5% tax rate that is your trump card still, isn't it?
Well, it's one, because if it was tax only, there are other countries where you can actually get zeros, Switzerland, Singapore, but tax clearly is very, very important, along with the talent pool.
What would help Ireland most right now? What would you like to hear from European leaders and indeed Irish leaders?
Well, we'd like to see stability. All of this going on now for months on end. Clearly, it's not great from a confidence point of view. The US is the biggest source of foreign direct investment into Ireland. And of course, the US are concerned about Europe.